Hi George, um, here's my latest addition. Forget these trend lines, they're just markers from previous testing. Okay, so I'm just going to start testing forward this way. I want to draw your attention to the same SDX Express. Um, there it is, but this time it's 13 bars, 2 standard deviations, and we are basically the same concept. The only difference is instead of stationing at the horizontal level, I'm going to station every time we come across a anchor point like this. So there's the anchor point. I'll just mark it out for you. There you can see the anchor point. It's right there. I've circled it. And every time we come to an anchor point, I'm going to halt the train there. Whereas before we would halt the train at the horizontal level. This time I'm going to halt the train at the diagonal level, but and only at where there is an anchor point. And then I'm going to extend the lines to the right. And anytime we have a break after the anchor point, then we enter the trade or exit the trade depending on whether we are in or out. And we do not move the train at all until such time as we reach the next anchor point. So here we go. So the first thing that we notice is that we are stationed. We've reached the anchor point. We extend the lines forward, and we don't move the train until we have until we have either a break to either side of the trend line, extended trend line of 2 standard deviations, or we get a new anchor point. In this particular case, we're not in a trade, so we enter into the long side, and I will, at the break, enter that there. I'll mark it in blue, and we will move to the right. Now again, oh, one other thing. Sorry, before we move, once we enter the trade, the first thing that we have to do is move the train to the point of entry, which is here. So that's now our new, so that way it gives us a fail-safe stop mechanism. I'm not sure whether to put the stop at the median area or at the lowest standard deviation at this point. I'm just not sure, but for now, to keep it tight, let's put the stop here. So we will use this as our stop until such time as we get our first anchor point where we can stop the train, extend the lines, and then move forward. So let's extend the lines. Well, first of all, we have to find the first anchor point, and it looks like that is the first anchor point, which we get actualized the next bar. So in reality, we would come and stop the train at this anchor point here and move the train, and then we park the train, extend the lines, and then we do not get out until we have a close below this lower line here. Which is right there. And what's nice about this is that you're getting in and out of diagonal lines instead of horizontal lines, which I think give you much more edge and much better entry point. So let's move forward. There's the first break. Okay, so we actually move this here. We mark it green as a positive trade, and we reverse the trade because it's a break to the downside. And we then take off the extensions, move the train to the break point, enter in our stop, and look for the first anchor point. There it is, which only gets actualized at this bar. So we take the anchor to this level here and move this down like that. Okay, so we've got this line here. We move the train to that point and we extend the lines. And as we extend the lines, we wait for a break. Or first we wait for the next stop. The next anchor, which is there. So we move this and we move the train. And extend. And we continue to do this until we have a break. So there's the next anchor. and that's not a break. It keeps it in. So we move it to this anchor. There's the, like, if I were to take off the extension, you'd see it stops there. So we stop the train, extend it right until the next anchor, which is here. Extend. And there's our exit. So we move from here, there's our entry, and there is our exit. Now, with the old system, we would not have really got our entry until somewhere around here, okay? And then we would not have got our exit till around here. So this is definitely more efficient because we're exiting on an angle. Here we enter a long position because that's the break. So we prepare our system that goes up. We move to the point of entry so that we establish our stop. There it is. We move the stop to the, I think it was, I can't remember the downside there or here. But either way, and then we continue to the first anchor, which is here. And now what we're looking for is a break. There's your anchor. So we're looking for towards the next, a break before the next anchor, which there is none. So there's no break. And once you get the first anchor, this stop moves away. We don't need it anymore. So there's the next anchor. Take the train up to the anchor. Oops, that's why I have to remove it. There's the anchor. And we do not get a break. We do, but it's not. It's got to be a close below that line. That's a touch. But this becomes actualized, so we move it. And we continue. That's to the upside. We don't really care about the upside. We're only interested to the downside because we're already long. Move the anchor. There's the anchor. Okay, there's our exit. There, close. So here we go. It's our long trade. It's a positive. It's a good one. So we painted green and exit. Reverse the trade. Move the anchor to the point of entry. Take off the extensions. Move it. Mark the stop loss, which are now there because the upside we're going short. And wait for the next anchor, which is right here. We move it. Move the anchor. There's the next one. Move it. Move the anchor to that point. Extend it. No breaks to the next anchor. No breaks to the next anchor. So we move it to there. See, we're still short, even though the train is moving upwards. Move to the next anchor. There it is. Even though it gets actualized here. And these two standard deviations keeping us in the trade. Eventually, the trade we just go on and on. Moving from anchor to anchor, and we don't get a break until we get all the way down to here roughly. And I mean, just take it to the last point, and I'm not sure when exactly it breaks. So you take the anchor to there, extend to the right, and there's your break over here. So at least you get in and out much earlier using the diagonal, and then you switch to the other side. So let me just mark this as green. And then when you look back at the 3 trades we did, I mean, pretty impressive results. Okay, I'm going to take the extensions off. We got that trade, we got that trade, we got that one, and we got this one. All of them absolutely 100%. Now, the old system, we would have gotten in there and then gotten out over here. Maybe not as good, up. And then this would have been a wash because we would have gotten in to the trade. Let's do the old one. Somewhere around here. and we would have right, but that's the first stop. If you extend it, we'll just make this line the break. We may have even lost on the trade, and that would have been a -1, which I always mark as yellow. That would have been a loss. So this angle helps because you get in much earlier. Not only do you get out earlier, you get in earlier. I'm excited, and it's nice because you're using these anchor points. You're using these as markers to stop the train all along, and you only use 13. It's great. I hope you enjoy. Good luck.